Greetings, everybody. Today I want to talk about something extremely important, something that I feel that everybody should have mastered by now. Unfortunately, it is not the case, and it is really damaging for where we need to be. So I want to talk about letting go and what it means to let go. We all come from a place that isn't always fields of roses. It's not always perfect where we walk, and life can be a challenge for everybody. It is a challenge, which hopefully those challenges always lead to change. So I want to talk about forgiveness and what it means to do so. I know a lot of people that hold a resentment for others, who hold hatred for others, who hold some type of negative feelings about another person, only because they don't know how it affects them internally and externally. So some of the oldest teachings deeply go into the science of forgiveness. And it is very widely spoken of in the occult. It is very well known that when you carry resentment, you're the one being tarnished internally. And we've all got times where somebody does something and it just really upsets us. Sometimes it's something that can't be overcome easily, whether it's somebody who steals from you, whether it's someone who talks badly behind your back, whether it's somebody who mocks you or anything. I could paint a book of scenarios for what might lead to resentment of another person. So forgive. It's a type of giving. You're actually giving to somebody. When somebody does something to go against you, you're forgiving them, and you're actually then going to be returned for that. So whether or not you understand how astrology works, whether or not you understand how psychology works, whether or not you understand how any form of emotional science works, there is something that happens, and it is a science. I can't call it anything but magic. And I've had times in my life where I've found it really hard to forgive somebody for certain things. However, I challenge you all to try something, and it is the science of forgiveness. Find somebody that really is in your head and you're like, something's happening where you haven't moved on from it. So I want everybody to move on from that, to find peace with that. And I'm not saying to just, forgive them. I'm saying you actually have to forgive them. You have to find it inside you to be able to cultivate that giving. Message the person, go to their house and tell them that you forgive them for something that they've done. And watch what happens next. It will blow your mind. It will absolutely change your life. I know people who aren't even spiritual at all and they've tried this, and profound things have happened to them. The myth of Christ was all about the metaphorical teachings of the mystery schools. And one of the most profound teachings of that consciousness model of Christ is forgiveness. And he, or the metaphor of he, the spirit behind that Christ consciousness, he states in the passages that if you can't forgive your brothers, that there will be strife. There's a lot of people that have judgment for other people, and unless they are able to judge themselves first, then they can't judge that person with clarity. Because until you've stripped away all of your material veils and you've come to the middle of your core and you really evaluate who you are to find yourself, you can't make judgment. You have to master yourself before you can make judgment. And the metaphor of God is perfection. That's what it is. It's divine perfection. And with forgiveness, it takes 30 seconds of your life, and you're not losing any part of your soul. You're actually, you're giving it, but it always stays retained in you, and you level up spiritually, and you'll feel it straight away. So I would love anybody to come back to me after they've tried it. Go and find one person that hasn't spoken to you in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years because of something that they did. Go and speak to them and tell them that you forgive them. You don't even have to tell them, but it's nice to. It's nice for them to hear that. It's an exchange. You can just put it into your mind and literally forgive them. And you'll actually feel something happen in your heart at that moment that didn't happen 7 years ago, didn't happen 2 years ago. If you're still carrying weight of scenario, let it go. We have so much that we need to let go of. This guy votes for Trump and you don't agree with Trump, let it go. Don't judge them. You are on the left or right wing. You are nowhere near perfection. You need to be middle pillar. Going back to the Kabbalah, you've got the pillar of mercy and the pillar of severity. Sun, moon. We don't want that. We want the middle pillar. We want the alignment, which is Saturn based and governed. And you wonder why the occult is Saturnian? Because they're satanic. Satan is an anagram and a direct transliteration of Saturn. Satan and Saturn are the same entity. Hence why you have the horns of Satan in the metaphorical teachings when you look at the cartoons. When you look at Saturn through a telescope, you can't see a planet with a ring. All you see is the two horns. Everything derives from somewhere. And so I want people to feel comfort when they live. I want people to be free. And if you don't have complete forgiveness for everybody, never, ever, ever can you be free. And I speak from experience. I speak from knowing. It's not an opinion. It's important enough for me to make a video on this. There is a science behind forgiveness. When your heart is locked, you can't rise. The Rosicrucian science of initiation is to unlock the heart chakra. This is occult knowledge. This is very esoteric knowledge, meaning hidden. You have to join the mystery schools and work your way very high to find out this information. Rosicrucian is Rose Cross, which is the heart chakra. It's the rose cross of Christ consciousness. Everything is here. All of the knowledge is here. The heart is the center of your universe. Heart is an anagram of earth. Earth is the center of the universe. I'm not going to talk about whether we're in a heliocentric model or a geocentric model. To all of the ancient cosmologies, every single one of them, pagan, Nordic, Siberian, Baltic, Australian, New Zealand, Chinese, Roman, Babylonian, Greek, they all put Earth at the center of the universe. Not because their maps were inaccurate, and now we're further along in cartography, so we understand maps much more, and we're more advanced, and we can't align pyramids with the celestial bodies as we could. We can't even build the pyramids how we used to. But they all knew that the Earth was the center of the universe. Earth, an anagram of heart. Heart is the center meridian of the body. The heart is the middle point. The heart of Africa is the middle of Africa. The etymology of the word heart is the center of. And if you're not centered, if you are not centered with forgiveness, you will never be free. you can never be free. And you are escaping your fate of destiny, because we are all destined to be free. And unless you can forgive everybody for what they've ever done, you're all the way back there. All the way back there. So life is about being centered. Hence why the tree of life in the Kabbalah and the Sephiroths go all the way up to Elohim, which is Saturn. Elohim at the top is Saturn, and it is Father Time. It controls everything. Everything is governed by Saturn. So I challenge all of you, anybody that hears this, I don't care how enlightened you are. I've been through this. I've been through it. I've been through resentment. I've been through hate. I spent a heavy majority of my life hating nearly everything. And now I'm free. And now this is when the knowledge comes. So unless you have full, complete forgiveness for everybody, never ever can you receive the downloads from the divine as a centered being. And yeah, I guess that's all I want to say about that. It's really, 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 really important that we are not hate-filled beings, cancer-ridden beings, that we are not love and light, new age beings, because not everything is love and light. I literally can't stand love and light beings, but to be realistic and to be practical, you cannot call yourself a spiritually enlightened person or anywhere close to it unless you have gone and forgiven every single thing that's come against you. Because once you've done that, then you can start to channel as a true magician. And you go spend time with the tribes and you ask them about this and they'll tell you it is a science. I hope this helps some people. It really helped me when I found out this information. I felt all of the weight of hate escape me, and all of the information that came in after that really changed my life. It really did. Everything became better. My way of playing music, my way of dealing with people, my way of making things, my way of making food, everything became so much more beautiful. Everything. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the world right now, whether you're wearing a mask or not. Forgive these people, let it go. Who cares what they want to do? Who cares if this guy wants to live in a caravan, pick his nose and eat it all day? Who cares if this guy washes his hands and puts his mask on? Like, who fucking cares? It's so irrelevant. None of it's relevant. None of it means anything. We need to realize this, that forgiveness is the most important thing you can give. And unless you're giving that, you'll never receive. Thank you.